Hi, I'm Clark on Topres. I have this YouTube channel and it's doing pretty well. I'm up to what, 87,000 subscribers. From the point I got over 50,000 subscribers, I started getting an awful lot of emails from companies trying to get me to push their products. I say no. I've said yes a few times, and you probably have seen the products. And of course, I've said yes to many batteries because we're all interested in that. Lately, I thought, hey, let's say yes to a few products that look like they might be very useful in the cruising world, but are out of the box, ways of thinking. Kind of fits my style, I don't do things normally, it seems. Anyway, I said yes to 3 things, and I was quite surprised. One of them, I hate. I thought I would like it the best, but I hate it. One seems useful for some people. And one I thought would be a little bit silly, and I thought I had a better solution, but I love it. So in this video, I'm going to go in around 3 things that you probably never thought belonged on a boat, but maybe they do. So, like I said, I accepted these things. I did tell them in my letter, I do not promise a review video, and I do not promise a good video if I do one. That's what I say to everyone. You pay your money, you take your chances, I'm not for hire. I don't do commercials, right? So if I love the thing, I'm going to tell you. Generally, if you send me something I don't like, generally I'll say, let's just not do a video on that because I don't want to be a negative guy. But let's go through this little list. Okay, the first thing I had them send me is this. It's upside down. It would be mounted like this, and it's a security camera. And I thought this would be a great deal. It's solar powered, and it lets you actually remote turn it and look around, and something right out of a movie. It has antennas here, so it can connect, over, I thought, Wi-Fi. Well, if I mounted this on the boat, I would have remote security. This thing can turn itself on with motion, thus saving a lot of electricity, so it can run off solar in the tropics. And boy, wouldn't that be nice to have, first off, your cell phone beep at you and say somebody's on your boat. It might just be a seagull, but you'll know. And second off, having something to show to the cops if something went missing. That would be really nice. Well, got it, went through it. And if somebody has used one of these more successful than me, you tell me about it because I would love to use this. But I've talked to the company and they can't come up with a way. How they've designed this is you have to put a cell phone chip into it. And then this uses the cell network to talk to their cloud. Their server will receive all the information from this. And then on your phone or computer or whatever, you connect to the same server and get that information. And that might sound great. And it would be great if you're going to stay in the US and just play around marinas. Might still be a really good piece of kit to have. But if you're going to travel around the world, that would mean getting a new chip everywhere you go. And on that chip thing, they actually supply a chip that doesn't cost much. They supply a plan that's just for this deal, and it's dollars a month. I mean, it's more than 10, but it's not terribly expensive. So like I kind of said, if you have this in the United States, this might be a well worth bit of security activity. I know I would have paid huge money one time during a hurricane. I left Topres in Tampa, and I'm calling friends and everybody's saying, no, we can't get back on the island. No, the danger, the flooding is too bad. And I'm thinking, oh, I've lost my boat. It would have been really great if my boat itself could say, no, I'm fine. Look, I'm floating here. That would have been great. So security camera in my book for a world cruising sailor, no good. Okay, this arrived. What this is a very nice handheld carbon monoxide meter. And I verified it actually works. I haven't verified it against another calibrated meter, but it certainly says there's no carbon monoxide to speak of in my house. And when I went to the tailpipe of a car, it said, yeah, there's carbon monoxide there. So it looks like it's working. Why you might want one of these on a boat is if you've got something installed that does combustion inside the boat. What can happen is it's all well and good until there's not enough oxygen around the combustion device. And then the combustion of the fuel isn't complete. So it doesn't make carbon dioxide, it makes carbon monoxide. Now, carbon monoxide does not get along with humans really well. It'll latch onto your hemoglobin, which is the chemical that moves the oxygen around, and it won't let go. So, you turn blue, you pass out, you die. And it's really hard to get it to let go. So you really don't want a high concentration of carbon monoxide around. It's the classic way people used to kill themselves in old movies and stuff. You would run the tailpipe of your car into the inside of the car and get yourself that way. Or when you used to see the really old movies and they would put their head in the oven, just for the people, that's not a propane oven. That was what's called coal gas, which is what they used to pipe into houses like before electricity if you were in a city. And coal gas is a lot of hydrogen and a lot of carbon monoxide. So putting your head in the oven, well, it won't work nowadays. Anyway, if you had one of these, it wouldn't be like a permanent meter that you would have installed that would alarm if things go bad. But really what you want to do is run that device. In my case on Topres, I have a propane fired hot water heater inside the boat. And I've used meters on it before and I know that I'm safe, but I definitely wanted to know I was safe before I decided. So if you did an install, something like this would be pretty cool. Anyway, handheld carbon monoxide meter, pretty cool for some people. If you have a need, nice thing to have. Doesn't cost much. Here's the thing I love. If you watch my battery review videos, you know that I have this FLIR thermal camera. It's something that, is made by FLIR. They're the company that does this infrared forward-looking, fanciness. They make all the military ones. So I bought it. It was shipped to the Dominican Republic, and the wrong one was shipped to me from an eBay seller. It had the wrong plug. So I had to use it with a cord to convert between USB-C of my phone and USB micro of the device. So that made it awkward to use. But mostly, it's just a pain to use because you have to charge it separately, and I always forget to charge it. And if you leave it on too long, it doesn't have a very long battery life. And so many times when I'm doing these review videos, and there's a lot to that section where I'm looking for heat, I got all this equipment running and hundreds and hundreds of amps flowing, and I'm trying to do a video, and then the thermal camera doesn't work. It was very frustrating. A Chinese company sent me this. And I thought, wouldn't that be interesting? It's a thermal camera. And I haven't used this one in over a month. But battery's good, started right up. You point it at what you want to look at, and you get this screen. In fact, I will hit the button. If you hit the button, it starts video recording. So it's recording now. That's my thermal of my camera. Those are my lights. And let me turn it on myself. I won't be able to see this now, but this is me. This thing is so easy to use. The resolution is almost as high as the FLIR, but it's plenty high enough. It's just been fun to play with. I shot it around the house, one day I was sitting on the couch watching TV, and I had a hot Florida day, and it's like, oh yeah, look, not much heat's coming in through the windows. It's pretty good. And then I shined it up at the roof, the ceiling, and I could see all the joists that were giving me some bit of insulation, and the heat just pounding in through the ceiling of my house. Swung it back around, and I swung it across my leg. I was wearing shorts, and I realized I could see the arteries in my leg. Anyway, this thing's really cool. When it's functioning, you get a little crosshair, and you can also have one that moves around, and it'll tell you the temperature of the hottest item. It'll tell you the temperature of the coldest item in the frame, and it'll tell you the temperature of what the center reticle is right on. And that can be really useful. Why you'd want that on a boat is, for example, you start your engine up, shine it at your engine. Look at what's going on with your engine. You'll know the temperature of your alternator like right away without having to touch it and try to figure out is hot and all that. But you'll be able to say, hey, that's awful hot over here. What is going on? Oh, I think that belt is slipping. It's making the main pulley getting really hot. Or you could say, there's just a lot of heat in the exhaust system, a lot more than there should be, and maybe you've got a restriction, that kind of deal. There's a lot of things electronic that start showing their damage by getting hot first. So if you shine this on electronics, and as an electrical engineer, I find this really useful. It's like, where is the power in the system going, and should it be going there? If in the early days, when I'm having software issues or whatever with a device, I turn a transistor on and just pump a lot of power through it, I can just grab this thing and go, yeah, board looks safe, and move on, and not have to worry about it every time, or in the case of one time, actually like burning the board up right on my bench. So I think these things are, well, let's put it that way. For the price, they're a very fun toy. If you don't have a lot of budget, you probably don't want one. But if you do have a lot of budget, this is pretty cool. One thing I'm going to do, and I only just thought about it this instant, so I'll put it in. It'll be the next thing in the video. I'm going to go out at night, and I'm going to just shine this thing like up and down the road in the dark. There's not a lot of street lights and stuff around me. And I want to see how this would work as night vision. I don't know, maybe it doesn't have enough range, but it doesn't transmit anything. So I think this might actually be somewhat useful at night when you want to do a watch, because, powerboat's quite warm. And if this can see at a distance, a little heat spot, that would be a whole nother use for the device. Well, anyway, those are 3 things that I took a flyer on, I acquired, and that's my opinion of them. So hope you liked the video. Bye from Clark on Topres.